All right, guys, it is coming up on 4 o'clock, and it is here on a Friday. And woohoo, it's Happy Friday, everybody. And as you can see, there is only a few small areas around the state that are dealing with showers and thunderstorms today. And the majority of those are in two places up there in northwest Alabama. One of them is going to be in Lamar County, and the other one is going to be up there in Colbert County. So that is where we are going to start today. And as you can see, up here towards the Columbus Air Force Base, if you are over here along the 17 corridor in between Vernon and Sulligent, you are going to have a wet drive home for you guys as this stuff is moving up towards the north. And the reason that this image looks so muddy is because the actual radar site is very close to the showers and thunderstorms right now. And so that is the reason. Let me flip over here towards the Birmingham radar site. And as you can see a little bit later, it's a little bit better looking rather than the Columbus Air Force Base site. But once again, there is a pretty good amount of showers and thunderstorms along the 17 corridor over in Lamar County, basically from Sulligent all the way down to Vernon. So if you're traveling along that highway, it's going to be a wet drive home for you. And then down here, a little bit closer to the Millport area, just off to the west of Kennedy, it's going to be a wet drive home for you in Lamar County as well. So that is what's going on up there in Lamar County right now. Now let's go a little bit further off to the north, and I apologize, my cursor went a little bit further off to the north. And as you can see, sitting here over Colbert County, which is right here in Lauderdale County as well. And this is going to be just off to the west of Florence. There's going to be a couple of showers and thunderstorms that are going to impact your drive home along the 72 corridor over here towards the Cherokee community. And if you're traveling from Florence or Sheffield along the 72 corridor into Iuka, Mississippi, or if you're going up here towards Corinth, Mississippi, it is going to be an absolutely nightmarish, nasty drive home for you as we've got this storm that is basically paralleling the area from Iuka all the way down to Red Bay. And so it's going to be a wet drive home for you if you work or live in the state of Alabama and are traveling west into the state of Mississippi across the northern portions and the northwestern portions of Alabama. Now let's go a little bit further off to the east over here and check on our friends between Decatur, Athens, Huntsville, and Scottsboro. And all is dry over here towards the Athens, Huntsville, and Decatur area. Also towards the Gurley, New Hope, and Scottsboro, Alabama area. I've got the radar turned on, and there's not really that much on the radar right now, which is good. So if you're traveling between Huntsville and Athens, your drive home is going to be good. Between Huntsville and Decatur, good. Huntsville to Hazel Green, Alabama is going to be good. And of course, Huntsville over to Scottsboro along the 72 corridor will be perfect as well. So, all in all, it's going to be dry, other than a couple of locations in northwest Alabama. Now, let's go over here closer to the Georgia state line, and this is well north of the Fort Payne area. There are a couple of showers and thunderstorms near the Flat Rock, Alabama area, the Sulphur Springs, Alabama area, and of course the Ider, Alabama area. And this is well north of the I-59 corridor. As you can see, there's 59 that goes basically from Valley Head and Gadsden and Fort Payne all the way up to Chattanooga. And basically, these showers and storms are in between the 72 corridor and the 59 corridor, and basically they're just sitting over the same area. So if you're up there towards the Flat Rock, Alabama area, the Sulphur Springs area, or the Ider, Alabama area, it's going to be a wet drive home for you. Otherwise, up here in Northeast Alabama, all is dry between Scottsboro, Rainsville, Fort Payne, Gunnersville, and Albertville, Alabama. So all is dry up in that area, other than a couple of showers in far northeast Alabama. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check on Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Hoover, and then Anniston and Gadsden. And all is dry across the central, western, and eastern portions of the state. Everything that had developed has now dissipated. So as you can see, if you're traveling all the way from the Tuscaloosa Pickens County line all the way over to Oxford or Anniston, it is going to be a dry drive home for you. And as you can see, there's a few peaks of sun over towards the Anniston, Gadsden, and the Oxford area. And that is the reason that the temperatures are a little bit warmer on the east side of the state. As you can see, Anniston is sitting there right now at 88 degrees. But all in all, it is going to be a dry drive home for you along the 65 corridor going through Birmingham, the 20 corridor, the 59 corridor, or the I-22 corridor, which goes up towards the Memphis metro area. So all is dry across that area. There are a couple of showers down here in Hale County, in between Greensboro and Eutaw. And then there's another one down here in between Eutaw and Bolagie along the 2059 corridor. But all in all, it is going to be a very isolated threat that you're going to see a raindrop on your drive home across the West Alabama area. Now, a little bit further off to the south, down here along the Highway 80 corridor, in between Demopolis, Linden, and Fawnsdale, there's going to be a couple of showers that are going to impact your drive home, but these are going to stay south of Demopolis right now, it looks like, and it is going to be a wet drive home for you if you're traveling out of Demopolis heading south towards the Linden area, because there are a couple of storms and showers that are right now over the Linden area. And I can actually zoom out and put on a different radar. And there you can see the showers that are really close to the Linden, Alabama area. And this is south of the Highway 80 corridor. So all is dry down there. Now let's move a little bit further off to the east and check on our friends in Montgomery or Auburn. And as you can see, once again, all is dry along the Highway 80 corridor once you get towards the Selma, Montgomery areas. And then, of course, as you get closer to the Auburn and Opelika area, all is going to be dry for your drive home. And as you can see, Montgomery right now is currently at 89 degrees, and Auburn is checking in at 86 degrees, so all is dry down here in the Highway 80 corridor area of Alabama. Now let's move just a little bit further off to the south and to the east and check on the 84 corridor between Andalusia, Enterprise, Opp, and Dothan. And once again, we are in precip mode, the radar is, but there's not really that much out there. And as you can see, Dothan is checking in right now at 85 degrees, and Andalusia is checking in right now at a balmy 90 degrees. Now let's go a little bit further off to the west and check on our friends, our final friends down there in southwest Alabama. And as you can see, Greenville and Evergreen are checking in at 92 and 91 degrees. So it's baking on the interstate right there in between the 65 corridor, but all is dry, basically going from Mobile all the way up to Montgomery. All is dry, but there are a couple of small showers that are going to be impacting your drive home. One of them is going to be just south of McIntosh on the Highway 43 corridor, and this is slowly moving off to the northeast, and it is dissipating as we speak, but once again, it's going to be a wet drive home for you in between McIntosh and Mount Vernon because of that one lone little shower right there near the McIntosh community. Now, there's other storms and showers that are dissipating over here north of the Ardmore, Alabama area. And then, of course, down here along the I-10 corridor, there are a couple of sprinkles in between the Loxley and Stapleton. And then, of course, over here in rural Baldwin County, there are a couple of other showers just north of the I-10 corridor, but all in all, it is going to be a dry drive home for you. And checking out in on the beach right now, it is currently 77 degrees down there on the Alabama beaches down there in Gulf Shores. So that's what's ongoing right now. Now, there are a couple of showers over here west of Mobile, but I think most of these are going to stay west of the city of Mobile. So, all in all, it looks like it is going to be a dry drive home for a lot of people with only an isolated threat for a few people out there in certain spots in the state of Alabama. Now, as I always like to do, I want to take a look and take you into the traffic. And as you can see, there is an accident right now, an overturned vehicle on I 65 northbound at the ramp there. So we will take a look, and this is an I 65 north heading into the city of Birmingham. And as you can see, traffic is flowing really well right now, but it is getting a lot of hectic right now there in the Birmingham metro area. So that is a problematic area north of Birmingham along the I 65 corridor. Now let's take a look real quick and see how we're looking at Malfunction Junction, where I 65 turns into 2059. And as you can see right there, if I can get my internet to work right. And once again, we're going to go back down in here, and I apologize. All right, so here is Malfunction Junction in downtown Birmingham, and traffic is flowing along pretty well. But once again, as you can see, it's going to be a hectic drive home for you, no doubt, up there in the Birmingham metro area. And I do not know why this will not work for me. There's the traffic at I 65 and 2059. Another view there from the malfunction junction area, and traffic is flowing along very well. So that is a good thing up there in downtown Birmingham. But just note it's going to be a real hectic drive. Now, let's go down here and take a look close to the I 459 corridor. And as you can see, there is an accident there off of 280 and 459. And you can see that Patton Creek is right over here. And traffic there is the River Chase Galleria. And this is US 31 at 459. And traffic is moving along pretty smoothly right there. So once again, that's what's going on up there in the Birmingham Metro. And I do not know why my computer and internet is not allowing me to show you any of this. But once again, now let's go down here into the Tuscaloosa Metro. And as you can see, here is the Hugh Thomas Bridge going over Tuscaloosa into Northport, and all is flowing rather well right now. So that is the good news that it's flowing rather well. But anyway, guys, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will be back here next Monday to do another right here only on the social media platform.